It was billed as an opportunity to build something new, something free of the tight shackles of Labour Party meetings, the process, the factionalism. It was meant to be a home for socialists, ousted from their political home by Keir Starmer. But the process has been marred by infighting, public spats, and threats of legal action. Today I'm going to talk to you about the floating £800,000, who had control of it, where it is now, and what possibly happens next. MOU Operations is the registered company at the centre of this furore. It was incorporated in April of this year, established to support the creation of an alliance of progressive community independents, with Corbyn playing a central role in its formation. Up until Wednesday evening, MOU Operations had 3 directors. There was Jamie Driscoll, the former Labour Metro Mayor of the North of Tyne Combined Authority. He resigned from the party after a Morgan McSweeney crackdown on Corbyn-loyal candidates were blocked from selection. Then the former MP Beth Winter, who quit Labour in late 2024, citing the party's persecution and ruthless treatment of its own socialist members. And finally, Andrew Feinstein, the anti-apartheid activist who ran as an independent candidate in Keir Starmer's constituency. In September, an extraordinary split opened between Jeremy Corbyn and Zarah Sultana, culminating with the former Labour leader confirming a referral to the Information Commissioner's Office over an unauthorised membership portal promoted by his co-leader. Sultana tweeted a link to a membership portal, encouraging your party members to make it official by making a payment. Corbyn's camp were blindsided. He later confirmed the site had been set up without approval, describing it as a false membership system that collected money and data without authorisation. He urged supporters to ignore an earlier email requesting funds and cancel any payments. It's not the first time the Corbyn camp learned about party developments through social media. Let me play you this clip from LBC Radio with former Corbyn staffer James Schneider, who learns live on air that his former boss is now convening a new party.
And James, you're going to be interested in this. You probably know this already, I suspect. But Zarah Sultana, the Coventry South MP, said this: Jeremy Corbyn and I will co-lead the founding of a new party with other independent MPs, campaigners and activists across the country. Reaction, James?
Well, that's a very interesting development. He says, slightly stalling for time. But that...
Did you know?
I did not know that was about to be tweeted just now, but that is... if that's true, if what you're reading is correct, then I think that's quite exciting news.
In the interim few weeks, Corbyn and Sultana have made up, put on a brave face and even appeared at an event together in Liverpool. But the question of the missing money has been a lingering headache. So let me talk to you about one of those directors, Jamie Driscoll. And in order to do so properly, I'm going to have to take you back in time a moment. Bear with me, it needs a little explaining. Let me take you to a piece published by Sienna Rogers in House magazine. She reports that a lot of the Your Party movement stems from a book penned in 2022 by former Corbyn advisor James Schneider, entitled Our Block, How We Win. The book theorised the creation of a new party, to the left of Labour, that would give all of those ousted by Starmer's purge a chance again at politics. The idea begins a physical formation in late 2023, when Peace and Justice Project Director Pamela Fitzpatrick, academic Justin Schlossberg, and Corbyn's former Chief of Staff Carrie Murphy formed Collective, an organisation that worked to bring together various left-wing independents and assist in their challenge to Labour's surefire win at the next election. Its stated aim, much like the current iteration of Your Party, was to drive the formation of a new, mass membership political party of the left in the UK. Collective was involved in supporting the campaigns of several independent candidates, including Andrew Feinstein, who came second to Starmer in Holborn and St Pancras, and Leanne Mohammed, who nearly ousted Wes Streeting in Ilford North in the 2024 general election. Corbyn, of course, ran as an independent, having been expelled from the Labour Party. He wins Islington North and forms an independent alliance with Shocker Adam, Adnan Hussain and Ayub Khan, stopping short of creating a new party. By late autumn, discussion was in full swing over the creation of a new party, Collective, that would bring in figures like the former mayor Jamie Driscoll, who had built up a solid independent following away from the Labour Party under the moniker Majority. Socialists are being brought together under this umbrella. There are protest groups like Just Stop Oil and pressure groups like the Muslim Vote, which is an organisation that could provide counsel or funding to constituencies where an independent candidate had an opportunity to oust a Labour MP. Now we've got that out the way, I can give you these 2 pieces of information. Number 1. When MOU operations was set up, Zarah Sultana was not involved in the construction of a new party. While there is always crossover between activists and organisers, Sultana herself was not in the deliberating process. Number 2. Jamie Driscoll takes on this role as Director of MOU operations because he is a respected politician with a track record of delivering in the North East. Someone had to put their name down, and it made sense with his background for it to be him. It's not until July, 2 months after this limited company is set up, that an online meeting convened by Salma Yaqub takes place. Yaqub is the leader of Respect Party sitting on Birmingham City Council and a leading member of Collective, the original coagulation of your party. A vote was passed in favour of forming a party co-led by Corbyn and Sultana. Corbyn and his allies had abstained as they wished to wait until a conference setting up a new party was held to vote on the leadership. A couple of days later, Sultana goes live on Twitter announcing she's co-leading a new party. Behind the scenes, Corbyn asks her to delete the tweet. I've given you a lot of information here, so let's sit back and take stock of what I'm explaining. For around 3 years, discussion and deliberations over what a new left-wing coalition would look like. It's a huge umbrella organisation that sought to bring together multiple pressure and campaign groups, some of whom had already demonstrated success in the recent general election, like Liane Mohammed losing to West Streeting by a mere 500 votes, an astonishing feat for an independent candidate. The plan had always been centred around Corbyn or Corbynism, the major players having worked in Lotto during his tenure as Labour leader. The rift between Sultana and Corbyn splintered long before the party's conception, and the two camps are still at odds today on a number of issues. So where is the money, you ask me? Well, to explain that, I'm going to have to read you this part of the 3 former directors' statement. They said, after the confusing launch of 2 membership systems on the 18th and 24th of September, neither of which we had any part in, we faced the added complication of MOU holding data and membership records. We urgently took legal advice, and on the 29th of September we wrote to the Your Party leadership asking them to take complete ownership and control of MOU. This would have handed over all the data, money and everything else to Your Party. 5 of the 6 MPs declined. Little break here, I think you know which of the 6 MPs accepted. Your party demanded control of MOU's assets without accepting control of MOU itself. This would have left us to deal with the liabilities and the costs from the confused membership launches. We cannot accept personal liability for actions that were taken without our knowledge or approval, nor could we agree to a proposed resolution that put MOU at risk of having liabilities exceeding its assets. We explained in detail why these proposals were not tenable. We were told that refusal will result in public condemnation. We have tried many times to hand over everything to your party, lock, stock and barrel. You cannot simply hand over data without following GDPR regulations. Not everyone understands company law or GDPR. In simple terms, we offered to hand over ownership to your party and make the 6 Your Party MPs directors in our place, giving them full control. Only one of the 6 was willing to agree. It later concludes that Zarah Sultana has agreed to become the sole member and director of MOU, with a commitment to use the resources for your party. Now that's really important. Commitment. Nothing is signed. The problem is, if the money is extracted and the company isn't transferred as a whole, you're in a potential legal battle. You can't liquidate a company when you're facing potential action from people who have paid into a pot under debatably false auspices. There's concern that the money that was paid in will need to be refunded, and that's something your party need to do as a company, or, well, as an organisation. Bankrupting an organisation that may have financial recourse, well, it's illegal. Hence the hyper-focus of transferring the whole thing over. But, most of the members in the Independent Alliance don't want to take on the indemnities or risk. Signing over the transfer from Winter, Driscoll and Feinstein to the Independent Alliance means they would be liable for returning funds. And it's not that simple to return funds. It actually does cost money as well as the original sum to do that. So they'll be left out of pocket. And frankly, that's not something they want. For now, Zarah Sultana has control of the company. Let me read you her statement. The MOU directors were already in the process of transferring ownership and all of the resources of MOU, and that legal process is now nearing completion. I am taking on the role of director of MOU to see this through and ensure we're ready for the conference at the end of November. The movement owes Jamie Driscoll, Beth Winter and Andrew Feinstein a debt of gratitude for their integrity, professionalism and hard work. They've been patient, constructive and consistently sought to resolve matters diplomatically. Thank you for your patience. This brings the chapter to a close, and these resources will now be used for your party, as was always intended. Zarah Sultana has said the money will be used in total to fund your party, and there's no reason to suggest that it wouldn't. However, there may be discrepancies when certain refunds have to be paid. Whose money is that going to come out of, and will that fund the campaigning effort of your party? There is also the conference that is going ahead at the end of November, where the finer minutiae or the detail will be worked out. The question is, why does it have to be so difficult? And why won't they all simply work together?